Right, spill the beans. Spill the beans. Let's go. Let's get into it. Let's change our category. Instead of being Billy. Oh, the coffee spilled. It's like it's the name of the game or something. Doopy doopy doop boop. Little bit bigger than the last one. Ooh, a little, ooh. A little pitchy in there. Alright. Content warnings. Only for the demo. Maybe update for the full game. Crude language. We would never say a cuss around here. And implied drug use. Only implied. You know what? It's fine. It's marked like the different sizes. Give me that new game. You've done it. Against all odds, you've managed to pull off the heist. Your shaking outstretched hands grab the cafe's secret recipe. They got him. As its power pulses through your body, your heart aches, your breath flutters, mere echoes of what was taken from you. What will soon be yours. But at this crucial moment, you can't help but think of the other people in this cafe. The ones you're about to drag into a complicated criminal mess. You can only blame the scroll's influence for such inconvenient sympathies. If they were in your position, they'd do the same, wouldn't they? They'd know that, after everything you've been through, this was the only option you had left. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. Boogie. Down. Oh yeah. People say that Artifice County is the most magical place there is. Yes, Artifice, where 100 years ago the world of spirits cracked the earth and spilled over into ours. Well, 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 if it's not Fantasy Seattle again. I must reiterate, the Space Needle is not this tall. But I'll allow it since it's also not on a fantasy desert butte. I got my eye on you, Fantasy Seattle. But now those spirits work 9 to 5s. Arcane power fuels cars and charges phones. This county, once the cradle of magic, has become as mundane as any other. And an unmagical human like yourself, among shape-shifting sirens, carbon fiber constructs, and wizards, you're exceptional. Exceptionally dull and exceptionally underestimated. No matter how much you tried to fit in, to love this place and all its wonders, never reciprocated. All it did was take, all it left you with was emptiness. And a photograph of some cat butthole. 'Cause cats just can't let a photo be. Why not take something back? Steal everything the county denied from you, fill in that gnawing emptiness, then leave it behind forever. Luckily, you know what you need, and exactly where to find it. The Familiar, a downtown cafe, noteworthy only for its secret recipe, locked tight in a back room. And, conveniently enough, they're hiring. So desperately, they aren't asking for experience or background checks. All that's left is to put together an application. Not that anything you say on it really matters. It rarely does. Ooh, alright. I like the kind of shaggy hair. Oh, we got skin tone. We can go blinding. Bad for a darkest. Yeah, there we go. Let's go right about there. Let's go purple. Yeah, let's go purple. Hell yeah. Alright, alright. Oh, we got the whole thing. Alright, let's see. You know, look a loquacious. I talk too much. I'm going with loquacious. Individual. We're not a wizard. We established that. Let's go with. Yeah, we'll just go with artisan. You know, that really suits us. I do love coffee. But I'd also love destroying my enemies and justice. I love coffee the most of all. Alright, my soft skills. I'm a passable confidant, you know. I'll hold on to your secrets mostly. We already said we were loquacious, so we are an expert articulator. And I'm a surprisingly okay snack fetcher. I hit the 3-minute break button. I run my ads. I go try and fetch a snack. I don't always find a snack, but I always get up and go look for one. It could happen. Alright, alright. Done! Oh, I don't have a name. Oh, my name is forename surname. Alright, alright. We will be... Peppy Sam Sprout. There we go. Peppy Sam Sprout. That's a name. A few days later, you're face to face with the familiar. While its neighbors are all dust and drywall, its facade seems unbroken, even if the varnish is peeling at the edges. For a moment, nothing. Then you spot a silhouette in the window who flicks its neon sign to open before waving you over. You cross the street, repeating the details of your plan. Get in, get out, and, for the smoothest possible getaway, try to find someone else to take blame. Can you really do all those things without running into any complications? You've already reached the front door. You can hardly turn back now. Cafe laid bare before you is almost indistinguishable from the scant images you found online. Mismatched chairs and royalty-free wall art. Well kept, but worn down. Oh my god, we were in this pho restaurant yesterday, and it had, like, an entire wall mural of, like, the worst AI art you can imagine. Just buildings that made no sense. Figures that I think were supposed to be people, but sometimes their faces were shopping bags and they'd have like 3 arms, and it was all in that weird, like, blurry line art method of like early, like, AI generated bull. It was so weird. It was like, why would you cover an entire wall in this? What did you do and why did you do it? Like, please just get the royalty free art. Oh my god. And it was like, so one whole wall was like the AI art mural, and then there was like multiple canvas stack version of pictures of bubble tea on the other side. And it was like, It looked better in here if you just didn't have these things on the wall. Just saying. See, look at like a raw brick. A raw brick is like a nice look for inside of an establishment. You don't get long to take it all in. A construct, towering over 2 meters tall, stops wiping down the counter and turns to greet you. Ah, must be Peppy. Great to finally meet you. Sorry, terribly rude of me not to meet you at the door. As she strides over, you realize how old her vessel must be to have no custom limbs or decals. Just worn gray stone, flowery moss, and that tiny bluebird nested on her shoulder. I'm Sloan, from the emails. Lovely to have you on board. Did you get here all right? I saw your address was uptown, and I know you were a wee bit out the way. Before you get a chance to reply, she's already yanked you into a crushing two-handed shake. For a moment, you worry that she might have pulled your arm from the socket. Actually, I shouldn't get chatting just yet. Today's schedule is pretty packed. Well, with your induction, barely found time to fix breakfast for Adam. Oh, hang on. This is Adam. Adam, say hello to Peppy. They're your new coworker, so be polite. Hello, Adam. Adam's usually my only company out front, so it'll be nice to have you too. I mean, I love this job, I really do, but 6 years, working the floor by myself, starting at 5 every day. Not that you have to come in that early, of course. We're only meant to start at 8, but it pays off. It does. As Sloane trails off, you have a chance to put your plan in motion. You spent a long time figuring out other people's so-called feelings, and just how easy they are to manipulate. If someone's in a good mood, they'll probably think better of you and suspect you less. And again, if you make someone upset, they might make for an easier scapegoat under pressure. But what's best for Sloane? Better make that first impression count. Peppy? Oh, I've worried you with that 5 a.m. thing, haven't I? Just want to stress that you don't have to do that. Honest. Listen, Peppy, I was told the same thing last time I worked in a coffee shop. And then one of our openers went on vacation, and they were like, hey, we're scheduling you at 5 a.m. You can't say anything because the schedule's already done. Oh, hey, we made you come in at 5 a.m. Can you still work until your normal time? Can you still work until 8 p.m.? Oh man, and if your replacements don't show up at 8 p.m., it's okay. Can you just stay until the nighttime light shows up at 11? Can you work from 5 a.m. until 11 p.m.? Boy, I wonder why I burnt out so bad at that job. Huh, it's a mystery. It's a mystery. I quit and went to Disney World. Was it the finest life decision you can make? No! But I did it. Alright. Yeah. We're gonna make Sloane like us. We're gonna butter Sloane up. Sloane seems like the happy grandma type, so. If we're out here to manipulate people, that's how we're manipulating Sloane. Aw, that's sweet of you. I try to bring the best out of the old familiar. Good to know other people actually noticed. The lights flicker overhead before Sloane can finish her sentence. Oh, sorry, I thought that was fixed. Should call the electromancer once I get a free moment. Anyway, packed schedule. I got pastries in the oven, then a delivery after. Come on, let's get you in uniform. If we're quick, I can show you how our recipe works before any customers arrive. Sloane strides through the doorway behind the counter, beckoning you into the kitchen beyond. Takes 3 steps to match just one of hers. Look at the little kitty donuts! Those are wonderful. The kitchen, built from cool metal and right angles, is warm with the smell of apricots. You breathe it in while Sloane roots through a nearby cabinet before suddenly sighing. I'll say this now. Sorry about the fit. She hands you an apron like her own. Exactly like her own, actually. And that it's far too big for you. It's bound to slow you down and make you look utterly ridiculous. Your one should be here tomorrow. I hope this is all right in the meantime. Can I skip the uniform just for today? It's just training. I'll stay in the back if I need to. You're not stealing anything in something so unwieldy. Oh, sure. Do take a name tag at least so that everyone knows you're actually supposed to work here. As you pin your name tag onto your unaproned self, Sloane smiles. It's a stretched, strange smile that pulls her whole face taut. Look, I'm sure not everything you've heard about this place has been grand, but once you put in a little elbow grease, she really shines. And I've got a lot of elbow grease. I just wanted to say that you wouldn't be here if I didn't think you had the same drive. Your application told me that much. Though, what was the phrase you used? Surprisingly okay snack fetcher? I know these roles can be challenging, but I hope you didn't think we'd treat you like that. But at the end of the day, those are just words. Your experience was what really settled it. I mean, it must have been quite a privilege to work for... Sloane is cut short by a buzz from her phone. Ah, pastries! Why don't you pop into the office while I grab those? Fred, your manager, I should say, gotta be ready. Big gray door on your right. Best of luck! You take 5, no, 6 steps towards the office, a hiss of heat escaping the oven behind you. Beyond lies Fred, the owner, the one from the newspaper, the one whose recipe you're here for. You ease the door open, but no one greets you. Your eyes are immediately drawn to the colossal metal safe that occupies a quarter of the room. Just a few steps away. The hang in there poster. Oh, that's cat humor. You knew the recipe was protected, but not like this. The safe looks like it was taken from the set of a heist movie. Should be for locking up gold bars instead of what? A recipe for coffee? But as you run a hand across its surface, wondering just how you're going to crack it open, there's a rustle nearby. You snap upright with a bolt of unbidden adrenaline. Like a dragon emerging from its hoard, a tiny, gold-eyed tuxedo cat rouses from a pet bed on top of the safe. He blinks, stickily, then suddenly glares at you, fur on end, eyes aglow. Don't touch my shit! He spits the words at you like darts, light crackling through his panicked eyes. The air in the room starts getting heavier as if brewing a thundercloud. Who sent you? You think you're gonna best me in my own domain, then? Oh, wait, you're the new hire, aren't you? Quick as the power cut, the light in his eyes blinks out and the pressure lifts with it. The cat sighs, slipping smoothly from safe to desk. Sorry about that. That was unprofessional of me. I'm Fred. Welcome to the Familiar. Good to have you on board. Well, given the terrifying magic and the talking, he's not a cat. He's a demon bound to the form of a beast. A familiar, in other words. That's the last time I'm pulling an all-nighter on admin. You're lucky to still be young, human, because after the 1st century, things get... Sloane wanted you onboarded, right? We have one main rule. Do everything you can to show the economist types this place isn't a bad idea. More than fire safety drills, we need drive and spite. That's what I expect from you. Are we clear? Decrease Fred's mood to make him more prone to breaking under pressure. Increase Fred's mood to make him more amiable. Let's butter him up. Crystal clear, boss man? That's what I like to hear. As long as we're all on the same page, you and I'll get on just fine. We aren't a happy little family here. We're just hard workers. This is gonna work if you aren't prepared to work just as hard as me and Sloane. As if on cue, Sloane enters the office, a kettle of boiling water in one hand and a packet of coffee in the other. She starts mixing the two in a mug on Fred's desk. Okay, boss. Morning, Fred. Everything all right in here? Thought I heard a bit of shouting. Oh, no, it's fine. It's just been giving a... Fred quickly squints at your name tag. Giving Peppy the lowdown on the Familiar. Our history, what we do, all the good stuff. Sloane gazes at Fred, tracing the tiredness in his eyes. Her smile dims a little. Oh, that's nice. I can join you now if you'd like, and we can go over the finer details together. You've got time, by all means. With firm movements, Sloane puts the kettle down and closes the door behind her. Fred's eyes lock onto your name tag as he reads it under his breath. So, Peppy, let's get down to business. We're open 8 to 5 most days, but your shift goes 30 minutes longer at the end for closing. Anything after that is overtime. I'll give you the forms. Aprons go on the hooks in the kitchen. If anything gets spilled on it, don't be afraid to excuse yourself and replace it as soon as you can. Oh, and if you are going to excuse yourself. And on it goes. Sloane and Fred don't speak to you as two different people, but as two halves of one business. Efficient, organized, and trusting one another as best they can. That should be most of it. I'll be with you at the counter for your training, so don't hesitate to ask me any quests. She's cut off again by her phone. Vinny, Vine Sauce! Oh, excuse me. Dave! Hey, Sloan. Just unloading the van out back, so there's your heads up. Thanks, Dave. I'll be right there. Oh, I should be off. Need to give my signature for the deliveries. Thanks again, Fred. Oh, Peppy, before you join her, I'm sure you've heard about our recipe. You must be dying to learn what makes the Familiar's coffee so irresistible. But it's not so much a set of instructions as it is, well, I won't get too arcane with you. It's more of a background thing, like the internet. You use that, right? Point being, even if you don't see it, you'll still be working its magic back here. In a drill-proof, bomb-proof, 6-gauge safe which only me and Sloan can open. Also, I cursed it. Yeah. Increase French suspicion of Sloan? I would never. Alright. Ooh, so it's protected against teleport-based attacks too, of course? Well, sometimes I need to summon something from inside without opening the door, so... But I guess someone else could. Well, I'll, make sure that's dealt with. Don't worry about it. He looks back at the veritable vault behind him as if checking that it's still there. Never be too careful with these things, especially in this economy. I mean, wasn't it just last week Raphael Hendricks wrote off his beauty store chain? It's inspirational how these CEOs act. Expanding isn't easy. I mean, ideally we'd have an accountant, a consultant, another chef, but we got you. You're one hell of a good start. I am. Especially with our regulars. Ugh, you'll meet them soon enough. Should catch up with Sloan. Anything you need? I'll be back here going over these papers. You leave the office, Fred pulls a single sheet of paper from the files on his desk. Even upside down, you recognize it as your CV. Not a moment after you enter the kitchen, someone waves at you from the back door. Vinny, Vine Sauce! In the doorway next to Sloan is a uniformed courier, a human, just as unremarkable as you. A precarious stack of cardboard boxes wobbles threateningly behind him. Say, you're Peppy, aren't you? Sloan was just telling me about you. All good things, I promise. Mostly good. Dave gives Sloan a package and gives you a conspiratorial eyebrow waggle. He pauses to take a long breath inward through his nose. Ooh, is that apricot? So you did go for the new recipe. Fred must have taken some convincing. Oh, I'm just trying it out. We'll see how they sell first. Eh? If I come by once I'm off work, that's one customer right there, guaranteed! Sloan breaks away to put each package in its right place. Dave looks at you, eyes glistening. Hey, Peppy, have a good first day, yeah? Why you being suspicious? Decrease Dave's mood too. Actually, who cares? He'll be gone soon anyway. Increase Dave's mood to give him a bright start to the day, I guess? Sure, we'll be nice. Might not be here for it, but if all goes well, today's gonna be good. That's the spirit. Any more for me, Dave? Just a couple bigger things, but I'll grab those this time. Don't let me interrupt your induction. You sure? I could carry. Catch you later for that pastry, yeah? Dave walks away whistling, his footsteps gradually going quiet in the alley. Peppy, I am so sorry about Fred. I know he must have overslept today. That's on me. You notice her hands are balled into fists, one so tight that even the stone starts to buckle. Just wanted your first day to be easy, but oh well. Let's get you behind the counter, shall we? Won't be time to take you through all the machines, so let's just fill the drip maker. Keep the house roast down here. She effortlessly pulls open a burlap sack of beans, scooping them into the grinder. As you pulverize them, the aroma of the coffee fills your lungs like a cloud of bitter smoke. Today's been all over the shop, hasn't it? You should get a wee moment to breathe now. Only one customer comes in this early, and they don't do Mondays. I'll introduce you tomorrow. Sloane smiles, the stone wrinkling around her eyes, and it dawns on you. This is beginning to feel like a real job. Just as you finish that thought, the front door swings open and your first customer skips inside. You spot at least 4 shades of pink in their outfit. Pink fingernails, pink sun hat, lipstick, backpack. That dress must be bespoke too. Pricey. As they draw close, you spot pointed fangs and their cheery smile and deep red eyes behind their tinted glasses. Tinted glasses. A vampire. Good morning, Sloane. Oh, spoke too soon. Morning. Before you order, this is Peppy, our new barista. Haha, you're finally upscaling. You know, I saw some prime real estate going for cheap on Moonbow if expansion's on your mind. Slow down. Not taking over the industry just yet. The vampire looks as if they have more to say, words bubbling just beneath the surface, but settles on a pout. Peppy, I'm Jessie, with an IE. Jessie's eyes swivel to you with abundant curiosity. You're not in uniform. Is this your trial period? Should I be giving feedback on your drinks? All criticism will be constructive, I promise. Oh no, nothing like that, just a supply chain issue. What'll it be this time, Jessie? Hot chocolate, please. I'll have it with, whipped cream, nutmeg, caramel, marshmallows. Wait, what will fit? Marshmallows, then whipped cream, then caramel, and the rest. Oh, but what if I got cookies too? Just give me one with everything. And 2 chocolate chip cookies, please. Sloane's already off to one side, rifling through her arsenal of ingredients. Meanwhile, Jessie brandishes a pink bat-styled mug from their backpack, placing it on the counter as her eyes flick back to you. Even if Sloane and Fred aren't aiming for world domination yet, you're still on the front line of their expansion plans. They're investing a lot of trust in you. So tell me, do you feel like a good investment? How far are you willing to go to succeed? It's just a job. The vampire peers deep in your eyes, as if making out something in the distance. I see. That's all I wanted to know. So, Jessie, what brings you here on this lovely Monday morning? Are you trying out a new schedule? Oh, no, I'm meeting the board in person after this. I could use the energy boost. Ah, for your infamous internship. How is your family treating you then? The same way they treat everybody. If I could afford it, I'd be here to help the familiar instead. But then Fred's just like everyone else. He sees my last name is Hendricks and thinks I'm some sorcerous corporate spy out to suck the proverbial blood from his business. Of course, the Hendrickses. Rich, powerful, and most troublingly for you, magically talented. Jessie looks at you, anticipating your judgment with a flat smile. Fred did say he was looking for a consultant. He did? I didn't think he'd have the prudence to. Well, if he's looking, maybe I could spare a few minutes before I go. Try not to let your family get you down, Jessie. You'll get your chance to prove yourself someday. Well, if all goes according to plan, that chance should come today. Fingers crossed! Sloane passes Jessie's now full mug across the counter. By some miracle of physics, it hasn't spilled over yet. Maybe this was a bit ambitious, but if I use a cookie to scoop up the cream and let the marshmallows melt, I can finish it in 30 minutes? I should go. Thank you, Sloane. Peppy, I'll see you later. Jessie swipes her card in their mug, making a beeline for a booth seat before the payment even goes through. They assemble their workstation in mere seconds. A sheaf of papers, a stack of textbooks, and, predictably, pink laptop. The mug stands vigilantly at a safe distance. Jessie was a surprise, but at least they're a nice one. I'm just grateful they didn't come in at the same time as... Before she can finish, the front door swings open and a siren rolls into the room. She's wearing a sleeveless orange turtleneck, a magnolia-covered jacket that's relaxing on her shoulders, and a perfectly photogenic smile that doesn't quite reach her ears or reach her eyes. Hello, the familiar. It's a perfect day for my long overdue review, don't you think? You'll have to forgive me. I came straight here from my morning swim. I must look a mess. She runs one hand through a river of glossy pale hair, parted by an immaculate side cut, and raises a smartphone with the other, flourishing it like a paper fan. Don't worry, Peppy. I'll handle this. Jessie shrinks back, arranging their books into a makeshift wall. It seems to work. The siren glides over towards the counter, not noticing them at all. Now, Sloane, I know you very well, of course, but for the benefit of both me and my adoring fans, who is this? Oh, I didn't know you'd be coming. This is... But the siren's already staring at your name tag, trying to preempt Sloane's introduction. So that's how you spell Peppy. Enchanté. I'm Alexandra Argyros. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. You don't happen to have a Grimoire account, do you, Peppy? I'd love to give you proper credit in my post. How about a drink first, before anything goes on to that internet page of yours? Quite right, Sloane. I'm getting ahead of myself. Could I have... She clears her throat and straightens her back. A blue sea salt caramel frappe with soy milk and non-dairy whipped cream on top, plus a little of that raspberry chocolate powder you have would be lovely. Thank you so much. I should have everything. Let me check the back first. Peppy, could you grab a plastic cup for that? Lids are in the bottom left cupboard. Wait, do you have any of those little fish cookie? She's gone. In the silence, Alexandra's smile slides off her face. She sighs sharply through her nose. Are you alright? I know this whole song and dance can be quite overwhelming if you aren't prepared, but then, you don't know who I am anyway, do you? Nope. That would make sense. Thanks for getting it out of the way, I hope. I hope I made a good first impression. Whatever that's worth. Sloane returns. Hands full of yet more ingredients. You hand her a cup and she starts filling it with dubiously blue syrup. Did I expect your fans to start ordering these frappes in the hundreds? I'm not sure they're on theme anymore. Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. The drink's just to showcase how skilled you are at your craft. It's aesthetic. That's what the audience really wants. Alexandra plucks the card reader from the counter with a sly smile, passes her phone across it, and hands it back with a wink. There's a 30% tip attached. You'd know better than me about that social media stuff. Sloane. Peppy, trust me. You've got a wonderful, cozy place here. What's not to love? Those donuts? Those menus? Alexandra turns around to gesture at the cafe, and her eyes finally land on Jessie. Her voice freezes in her throat. Jess? The little bow! The little bow! Oh my god. Ah, no, Jessie. Alex, why did you pick today of all days to come in? It's on my page. Perhaps I should have dropped you a message. Sorry. Do you? Sloane puts the finished frappe to one side, pushing past you to tend to the transformed Jessie. Alexandra squeaks a little closer to you. Sorry, Peppy. Truly. Drama's the last thing I'd want to bring to this establishment. Or to Jessie. She plucks the frappe from the counter. You're not sure how anything that color could taste any better than tolerable. I know what I'm not wanted. I'll just snap a few photos and be on my merry way. The lighting's not ideal, but I can fix it in post. Were you in Lesbians? Oh my gosh. Oh. Feel free to dim the lights. Ooh, increase Alexandra's suspicion of Jessie. Ooh. Yeah, let's go with, were you in Lesbians? I'm sorry. Thank you. I'll spare you the messy details, but needless to say, it didn't end well. Not that there was much of an ending to speak of, really. With a final smile, Alexandra takes her drink to the cafe's centermost table, posing it like an art exhibit. Jessie, still a bat, keeps staring at her, but she doesn't look back. With an exhausted puff of smoke, Jessie returns to their original form and slumps into their seat. Eyes wandering to the crescent moon bracelet on their wrist. Sloane returns after confirming they're okay. Sorry, I didn't think... Yeah. Both of them at once can be a wee bit complicated. They used to... She's cut off by the sound of a motorbike revving down outside, heralding the arrival of your third customer. This person is a first, even for you. Sorry. Somebody whose body lacks everything but a skeleton. You don't know any kind of magic that can make that work. Skinless, fleshless, sigilless. Although he does have hair, which you're pretty sure isn't a type of bone. A stiff, dark brown pompadour that props up a pair of sunglasses. Grudge? Grudge, hey, how's it going? I feel like I've barely seen you since ArtCon. Oh, damn, the cold shoulder. He reaches the counter undeterred. You're waiting for Sloane to address him like the others, but she's just staring, locked in place. Huh. So you're the new barista. Good job making it this far. Makes you one of the best, doesn't it? Ain't just the coffee you brew. It's your resolve. Can we take your order? Yeah, resolve. Let me tell ya. I know your type. I know what you're up to something. I can feel it I can feel it. Sloane, I would like to order. Thank you kindly. Let's put your new barista to the test. I'll have a coffee. A black coffee. From the pot. Doesn't have to be. Yeah. I think we might, Sloane's eyes bounce between his skull and the coffee pot on the counter. Peppy, why don't you handle this one? It'll be good for your training. Seems like she isn't going to budge. You grab a cup and start pouring. Wait, what's her name? Peppy? Okay, I think I got it. So that's to be the name of my nemesis. Grudge. Grudge Knuckles. You'd best remember it. Even if Frederick gave you this job instead of me, there's bound to be cracks in your meticulous facade. Your coffee making halts at this revelation. You had a whole rant prepared because you got this job? With an application like that? We're gonna have to go with, you're making it obvious why they didn't pick ya. Hit me right in my non-existent heart. Gonna make a fine nemesis, that's for sure. Much as it pains me, physically. You present the now full cup to Grudge. He daintily drops in a sugar cube, then stirs the coffee with a bone-like spoon, which he apparently just had loose in one of his pockets. Ha! Nice try, Peppy. But I know coffee when I see it. There's no way this. He puts it to his jawbone and takes a delicate sip. The liquid seems to vanish as soon as it enters his mouth. Hits! Damn it! It's just like usual! How'd they get it right so quick? So bitter, yet so energizing. Fine. Hand it to you, Peppy. Looks like you're lucky. That's a decent cup of coffee, but beware! I'm watching you. He takes the cup and spins, dramatically, away from the counter. It's then that he finally spots Jessie. Jessie! Grudge! They immediately hug. It's so good to see ya! Why didn't you pipe up earlier? I was waiting for you to finish. That sounded quite personal, Grudge. You sure that was a good idea? Oh yeah, you heard that? Sorry. It was just a personal Don't matter. How's your job going? I could tell you, but I've not got long. Are you sure you don't want something with your coffee? Sloane's made some great cookies today, and I'd be happy to buy. No. Shouldn't give my nemesis the satisfaction. Not after walking away all conclusively like I just did. Grudge, you haven't even paid yet. I admire your candor, but are you sure Peppy's your nemesis and not Fred? Ugh, Fred's a real villain, that's sure. But a nemesis? Different. Gotta be personal. We don't know who Peppy is yet. Maybe start with a rivalry. As practice? A rival, huh? Having a lovely time at... Oh, I used lovely last time. They'll think that's insincere. Oh, almost forgot. Alex, how you doing? All good over there? Oh, Grudgy. Didn't see you come in. How have you been? Well, it's funny you're here, actually. There was something I wanted to... I'll talk to you later. You too, Jesse, if you're busy. Sorry, I should pay for this. Grudge sheepishly returns to the counter, hands fishing through his jacket pockets for some loose coins. Well, I'm back. Got too caught in the whole confrontation and give you your money, even if most of it's going into Fred's pockets. Ugh. But I'll say this. I'm practically a coffee detective, and I'm detecting something odd about ya. So long as I come here, I'm gonna do my damnedest to figure out what. Ooh. Then catch me, detective. Ho 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 ho. Yeah, let's make Grudge seem the suspicious one. Are you perhaps goading me into a trap? You're making for a fit nemesis, but I'll find out what he's doing unscathed. Not another word? He perches on a stool by one of the cafe's front windows. Over his shoulder, Alexandra and Jesse swap looks of confused concern. Good job, Peppy. That would be a good moment to put his purchase into the register. As she's halfway through showing you how to work the cash register, you turn to see Fred jump onto the counter next to you. How's it going out here? No need to panic. Isn't a performance review. Just checking things are... He surveys the regulars in the cafe with no small amount of scorn. Huh, Sloane. Why don't you come with me for a moment? Been meaning to have a chat. But we still need to... She looks forlornly at the pile of coins Grudge left. Even at a glance, you can tell it covers the price of the drink and then some. This might be your last chance to sow suspicions before you execute your plan. Better choose wisely. Let's go with, is Grudge usually like that? Not that I've seen. I mean, I don't know him as well as the other two, but the way he talked, well, it'd be surprising to hear from anyone. As silence returns to the room, so too does your opportunity. But you can't help but overhear Fred and Sloane's hushed conversation in the kitchen. I'm just saying, if our best regulars keep bringing their drama here, no one else is going to want to stay. With a sigh, Sloane leans against the kitchen island, the full weight of this morning's events seeming to suddenly sit on her shoulders. They're good, reliable customers, and sure, things have been tricky, but we got Peppy now. A little hard work, we can turn this around. Besides, aren't there enough names on your board of bands already? Let's not add any more while we're going through a rough patch. She side-eyes a corkboard near the walk-in fridge. There must be at least 24 names on there, each marked with a reason for ban in vindictive felt tip. As she does, you notice Grudge sidling up to the counter, trying, subtly, to peer inside the kitchen. I know, you're right. It's just... I mean, I haven't even cast an anti-summoning word on this place. It's not exactly a recipe for success. I did want to talk about our recipe, actually. You know, since we've got a new hire, and... Can we just deal with one thing at a time? First priority is cutting down costs. Now, I noticed the price of algae extract for that blue drink got hiked up, and I figured... Fred's eyes finally land on the snooping Grudge. The two freeze before Grudge slowly backs away. Busted. Gotta go. Aren't content making trouble for me from afar, huh? Go. away! Who is that? 3 guesses. Ugh, all the more reason to cast that ward. I'll be out front. What are you doing now, Fred? A sudden knock on the back door stops her from following after Fred. Oh, Dave's back. Let's see what that first. One thing at a time. As Fred prowls out of the kitchen, Grudge turns to you with a scowl on his skull. Ah, damn it. You say that thing earlier just so Fred would shout at me? It's a low blow even for you. I'll find out what he's really doing soon enough. Mumbling to himself, Fred assumes a position at the very center of the cafe. That storm cloud feeling starts to rise again as he begins his spellcraft. Ooh, I must have pushed him too far. He's finally going to explode me. While Fred's presence draws a little attention, you start rifling through your bag, making sure you can take any opportunity to launch the heist. Just as he starts chanting, however, Jesse approaches him with a thick stack of papers in hand. Hello, Frederick. Rumor is you're expanding the familiar. Very exciting. I'd love to get on board. Oh, should you be casting in front of customers? Lord of Chains from, Jezebel. It's kind of you to offer, but I am in the middle of something here. Frederick, I mean serious here. You and Sloan have seen the contracts I've drawn up, and given your situation, you shouldn't be turning anyone away. At this point, Grudge takes notice of the conversation, slightly shaking his head. Look, Jezebel, if you've already got contracts for me to sign, you've got the wrong idea about working with me. Thought you would have learned this after last time. Oh, never mind then. Jesse's face crumples. They walk away, clearly dejected. Grudge rushes to comfort them, skeletal hand to shoulder. Jess! Jess! Is Fred trying to explode me? Oh, judging from the symbols, it looks like an anti-summoning ward? Odd. Why would he want to stop anyone from getting in? Or for that matter, why do you want to stop folks from getting out? In the background, Alexandra tries her best to get a clear shot of her drink, but Fred is perched in the way. Fred, darling, you wouldn't mind scooching a little to the right, would you? Since you didn't consent to any photos, and I'd like to respect that. Freddie, Alexandra, I've got bigger things to worry about than photographs right now. I'm addressing a security concern in case you hadn't noticed. Bigger things? What bigger things, Fred? We're all you got. Maybe start acting like it. Grudge, it's not a very smart thing to say, is it? Oh, not another fight. It's then that Sloan joins you in the main room, dusting her hands clean from Dave's latest packages. Finally, Fred, are you doing all right? Sloan stands still at the sight of Grudge and Fred's stare down. She gazes into his hollow sockets. Could everyone just wait? I'm out here for 2 seconds and I'm already getting swamped by my own customers. What I gotta do for a little peace, huh? No. We've got a new hire today, and if this is the impression we're giving them, we'll be doing them a disservice. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'll be finishing that spell now, without any more interruptions. Fred continues, pushing the spell towards completion as you, coiled like a spring, wait for the exact right moment to strike. Even with such a prominent distraction, you know success isn't assured. How fortunate, then, that you sowed a little more chaos in advance. Because it's this precise moment when Grudge chooses to fire his parting shot. I know you're hiding something, Fred. Bind them to this realm. Grudge, what the fuck are you talking about? Jesse looks down at their stack of papers, gloom gathering on their brow. So you're not even gonna look at my proposals? You wanna talk, Jezebel? We'll do it later. Just as Fred's magic ripples out into the cafe, all eyes are on Fred, and you take your moment to strike. You've done enough to distract everyone. You're not going to get a better chance than right now. You reach into your bag, and in an instant, all the light and sound is sucked from the room. The sounds of panic are quickly quelled by the magic now pulsing from your Cozy Co sleep-tight blackout blanket, TM. Even in the silent darkness, you won't have long before everyone gets a sense of their surroundings. But you've been over this plan too many times to fail now. Step 1. 3 steps into the kitchen, then 5, no, 6 to the right. You paw for the door handle and slip into the office, thankful that there wasn't an apron to stop you. Step 2. 1, 2, 3 steps, and you feel the cool surface of the safe against your fingers. Step 3. Reach into your bag, give your can of Curse Be Gone a shake. A few sprays on the safe, and the wards are already flaking off. Fred never considered such a direct approach. But there's something else. A sound cutting through the silence. Crackling like lightning. Fred's casting a counterspell, albeit slowly, thanks to you wasting his time on that anti-teleporting ward. Step 4. Spin the wheel, heave the safe open. Feel around inside until you've done it. Against all odds, you've managed to pull off the heist. And did a decent job of it, too. Your shaking outstretched hands grab the cafe's secret recipe before stuffing it into the tiny pocket dimension of your teleportable, registered trademark, lunchbox. But at this crucial moment, you can't help but think of the other people in the cafe and who, if anyone, you should try to pin this on. You exhale. The sound, though faint, is starting to return. Fred's counterspell is gaining energy. Even if you put all your weight on the safe door, you wouldn't have time to close it properly. Best you can do is return as quickly and quietly as you can. Just take careful steps back to the counter. Try your best to control your breathing, not to let the exhilaration show. It's been so long. As you take careful steps back to the counter, and the darkness fully dissipates, you know you're not safe yet. You've got to find an exit in the ensuing chaos without arousing suspicion. Somehow. As the silent darkness lifts from the cafe, the first thing you see is Fred bounding into the kitchen, crashing through the cat flap to the office. Peppy, is everything okay in here? No one's hurt? What was that exactly? Blackouts don't usually come with spontaneous hearing loss. It is possible with light and sound enhancements, but it's rare they're so dramatic. Did Fred's spell backfire somehow? Jesse, we don't have any enhancements like that. This wasn't planned. Huh. Fred's plot must be even trickier than I thought. Where'd he go, anyhow? Before anyone can move, Fred rushes back into the room. Nobody leaves! His eyes crackle gold and chains of light fly across the cafe. The front door, the windows, the back door, no exits are spared. You do this the easy way or the hard way. Understand? And if you aren't going to turn yourself in, I'll root you out myself. What? I'm sorry, but whatever just happened is your business. I'm not missing my meeting. I'm sure you have a plan, Frederick, but is it really necessary to trap us inside your lovely cafe? You wanted us to stay. You didn't have to do that. What are you accusing us of exactly? Sitting perfectly still while you messed up some spell? Fred, what's going on? While the lights were out, someone went into my office and somehow opened the safe, which means one of the people in this room has stolen our secret recipe. It's as if the whole room flinches. Suddenly, everyone's looking at everyone else, wide-eyed, searching their faces for the slightest trace of an answer. Jesse seems to be evaluating everyone in turn, but their piercing red eyes burrow into Fred for the longest. Lone looks Grudge over with a furrowed brow, although she seems less suspicious and more just sad. Most importantly, however, no one seems to regard you for very long. But that means... No, this is fine. We can deal with it. It's alright. Well, good luck with that. I'll be on my way. Ha! Good luck getting past my magic. I might only be a familiar, but I promise if you try to leave, you'll regret it. Jesse's eyes flicker across Fred's barrier, prying for any weakness in the spellcraft. Frederick, please. I understand you're stressed, but it'll be easier to figure this out if we aren't in a locked room, won't it? Yeah! And how do you know it's just one thief? What if it's a conspiracy of all of us finally getting our revenge? You don't have to act like vigilantes. I'll just call the police and... Enough! Enough. This place is sealed, and nobody leaves till we find our thief. Thief, singular. Grudge, because if it was any more, you might have actually succeeded. As for the ACPD, Sloan, fine, I'll call them. I'm betting they'll take their sweet, taxpayer-funded time getting here, then label this as unsolvable. And I'm not risking anyone making a break for it in the meantime, so we're gonna sit here like adults and get our facts straight. Understand? Now, did anybody notice anybody acting strange? Anything suspicious at all? I'd get this over faster if you fess up now. The room exchanges uncomfortable glances before someone pipes up. You know what? Let's address this now. Would you mind telling us why you were spying on us in the kitchen, Grudge? He was? Grudge frowns at you before replying. Well, clearly my suspicions were well-founded, weren't they? Not like I overheard nothing important anyhow. Jess, I didn't think you wanted to get in with Fred after all the shouting matches we had. You wanted access to the heart of his business, metaphorically speaking. You really could have phrased that better, Grudgy. That's nothing to do with this. I just got the impression that you needed more staff. Hey, if you wanted to steal from Fred, I'd support you. Well, Fred, you were casting an anti-summoning ward, weren't you? That tells me you were expecting something like this to happen. Already breaking off avenues of escape. You really didn't explain what you were doing, Fred. Can't blame us for worrying. Hey, I'm the one who just got robbed. I was right to cast that. Peppy's the one who suggested it. Well, great start, everybody. At this rate, we'll have our recipe back within the next 1,000 years. Ugh, no use trusting anyone in here, is there? I know how these stories go. You've all got some kind of motive. Jesse, the heir to a powerful family with something to prove. There's always one. I'm not an heir to anything. I'm the youngest of 5. Alexandra, our femme fatale, although she hasn't killed anyone. Probably. If it weren't from you, I'd take that as a compliment. Grudge, the obvious suspect. Too obvious even, but I'm not ruling anything out yet. So what, that makes you the hero detective? You don't even have a plucky sidekick, or a hat! Sloan, the one you'd least expect. Oh, that's good, I think. But Fred, you can't really be saying that. Would bring us to our final suspect, Peppy. Your breath can't help but flutter as everyone's eyes suddenly turn on you. Well, got my eye on you too. But they'd have to be swimming in artifacts to pull that off, so pretty sure they're in the clear. Cursory glance around the room tells you that not everyone believes him. Well, that's why they're going to find out who really did this. And everyone's going to be very polite and answer all their questions. What? Wait, my nemesis is the detective? All the more reason to keep an eye on him. Gotta make sure justice is carried out. Fred, you know me. You don't seriously think I could have done this, do you? This is, can we all stop shouting for a moment, please? Can't keep spending my time with people who'd wasted on my behalf. Don't try to stop me when I leave. I'm with you there, Jess. Though I wouldn't mind knowing who really did it. Fred, I know you're panicking right now. You shouldn't do anything rash. These are our customers. And this is Peppy's first day. Why would we? Her rising voice is broken by a ringtone. She stops with a flinch, putting the call on speaker. Hey, Dave. Hey, Sloan. Got my very last packages out back, but there's these gold chains on the door. Think it's stuck. You okay in there? Yes, I'm fine. Just dealing with a burglary. I'll give you the details in a second at the door. Ah, one of those days, huh? Peppy all right at least? Good question. Fred's just asked him to interrogate us. Look, I know it's unorthodox, but we all need that recipe. This is our best option for the cafe. For the cafe? I always knew you hated your customers, but this confirms it. No grudge. Just you. Please not fight already. I'm not gonna solve whatever this is by shouting. Yeah, it's getting a bit loud over the speaker. Peppy, what do you actually want to do? If I'm getting paid either way, may as well. Let's all calm down. We're on the same side. And, I don't know. This is a pretty bad first day. Yeah, we're gonna go with this as a pretty bad first day. You don't think anyone here besides Sloan appreciated the reminder? Exactly. No one wanted things to turn out this way. We all agree on that, but we can still make it better. Hey, when I told you I have a good first date, did I jinx it? Oh, my bad. Look, are we doing this or not, Peppy? No matter how strange Fred's idea might be, could put you in a better position until you make your getaway. Time to lean on the scapegoat part of your plan. As Fred starts bounding into the kitchen, you shrug and go along with him. Sloane finishes her call with Dave before following you with heavy footsteps. Silence takes the space you leave behind. Oh, shit. Do you want to talk about any of that? Just relax for a minute, Sloane. I'm going to check for clues in my office. Peppy, join me in a minute. Clues? Didn't hire a detective, but here we are. Is there anything I can do to help? Please, just ask. Oh, me too. Not sure as much I can offer besides moral support, but, you know, thought I'd say. Can't leave till the delivery's done is all. Thanks, Dave. I think we could use the support while this gets sorted. Well, it'll get awkward if I'm just looking in, won't it? I'll leave you be then. Anything you need? Just shout into the alley. Best not keep Fred waiting. Maybe you'll be able to reason with him. Calm him down a bit. I think he could use that right now. You oblige her enter the office, finding Fred in the middle of a phone call. Outgoing call. Asshole. Yeah, theft. Lock down the whole building. Makes your job a whole lot easier, doesn't it? Locked room scenario is a little intriguing, I suppose. The person on the phone. You know that voice. Thin and sharp as a wire, digging into you just as deep. But where? But if it isn't urgent. That's not what I said, En. You're not exactly getting picked off one by one. I'll be happy to be there at the earliest convenience. Our department is very busy otherwise. You'll solve it by yourself. Really. You shouldn't expect miracles. We are just mortal, you know. Excuse me. Mostly mortal. A self-satisfied laugh crackles through the receiver. Bounces off the back of your skull, ringing like tinnitus. You show your face in my business. See you later, familiar. Blah, why did I expect anything else? After dialing all those tiny keys, too. Ah, Peppy, here already. As you probably heard, ACPD is taking its sweet time. Big surprise. But we don't need them. They'll do the real work. Plan is, you find our prime suspect before the ponies get here and mess everything up. You can do that, right? 1 in 4, logical deduction. Fred sneaks a not-so-subtle glance at your CV across the desk. Should be easy for a loquacious artisan like yourself. Loquacious? The fuck does that mean in this context? Nobody writes these like a normal person. Plus, you love coffee. That's a decent motivation to get the recipe back. Despair and anger. Right, let's put those soft skills of yours to use. Imagine I'm one of the suspects. What would you ask me? If you admit it now, we've promised we won't be mad. But we will be mad. I'm already mad. He stops to breathe out as much tension as he can manage. I mean, are you even trying to find the right suspect here? We need eyewitness accounts, motives, that sort of thing. Stuff like, what were you doing when the lights went out? Or how do you feel about the familiar? Or what's your relationship with Fred? You know. That's what he wants while you're trapped here? That's exactly what he'll get. Actually, take the spare notepad. Write down anything suspicious you come across. I want no stone left unturned. Yes, yes. It's just the exact questions he just fed us. Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay. Things are gonna get complicated once he shows up, too. So, I'd appreciate having someone on my side when that happens. I think that leaves us with, God, until closing time at least. Before the police can finally make it to the scene. Oh, clock. Most signs of inquiry will cost you time, so use it wisely. Alright, now, let's find you a base of operations. I'd offer my office, of course, but I need to conduct my own investigation here. Where to put you? Fred hops off the desk, reluctantly dragging his phone along inside his clenched maw. Bathrooms? Cold storage. Not great for health and safety. Oh, what about the counter? You'd be there anyway. Gives you a great view of... Fred's gaze catches the open sign still lit in the cafe window. He sighs and bounds across the room to correct its message. As he does, you notice his phone. Left forgotten on the countertop for a few crucial moments. No, we won't steal his phone. That would be a little obvious. The phone remains untouched until you hear Fred's paws padding towards you. Sorry about that, Peppy. Don't want any prospective customers banging at locked doors. Instead, we got a whole day of business lost thanks to this fiasco. Never mind. That should be everything you need for the investigation. Ask questions, find solid motives. Simple in theory. I know this sounds... It's a dumb idea, but it's the best I got right now. If we don't do something, this place is going under. All our livelihoods are at stake here, so get out there and catch us a thief. Please. This piece said, Fred cast a surprised glance to his phone before dragging it with him back to his office. Ooh, the phone was a trap. Well, well, well. Hunkered down behind the counter, you take a moment to reflect. Plan went off without a hitch until it didn't. While your boss might be paying you greater attention, he doesn't think you did it. At least, not yet. If a real detective from the ACPD is coming, no doubt they'll find out you're the thief. That is, unless you have a convincing scapegoat. With evidence of a motive and the others on your side, you might be able to clock off at the end of the day without handcuffs. Until that happens, Fred's magic will keep you trapped here. And so with that, your investigation begins. Not to find who did it, but to find the perfect person to blame. Alex, let's start with Alexandra. Oh, okay, so we can... Can't even talk to everybody, so we can't talk to Sloan, can't talk to Fred. But we can talk to Dave, but... Obviously it wasn't Dave. So I guess we'll ask the questions we can in here. Set your sights on Alexandra, ensconced in her corner and somehow wholly focused on taking selfies. It breaks my heart. No, too much. I'm terribly upset, or, it saddens me to say. That's too detached. Ugh, surely there must be an easier way to sound sincere, yet appropriately distraught. Oh, Peppy, you want to talk to me? First? I know conversation with me can be scintillating, but I would have thought other lines of inquiry might be more pressing. You know, as a public figure, it's very important to me to set a good example to my followers. So, you can count on my full cooperation today. Not that I have much to offer. I'm just the influencer stuck trying to make content out of the world's worst escape room. And trying to make sure the internet doesn't frame me as a villain in the process. Nothing a few very carefully worded posts can't handle. It sounds like hard work trying to win over that many people. Well, yeah, the internet as a whole is a lot of people, but a curated following? If you're careful enough, you can retain their adoration through any storm. It's the separation, I think. The screen between you. Makes it easier than winning over someone you see at a 9 to 5, with the bonus of image filters. Are you worried too, Peppy? Being caught up in a crime might not look good on your digital footprint either. No, it's, I'm not like you. Nobody spares me a second glance. Her mouth twists and her brows furrow, leaving her face contorted with an uncomfortable display of emotion. She meets your eyes with a purposeful intensity. I'm looking now, aren't I? At least 3 glances for me today, I'd say. You'd think she was trying to be comforting. Sorry, I feel like I got us off track from your investigation. You can ask me any question you like. Well, what were you doing when the lights went out? Well, after having my pictures photobombed by an infuriating familiar and suddenly being swathed in magical darkness, I was in no mood for selfies. Not even the best phones have a torch that can cut through magic. That fact made all the more infuriating when I felt the damn thing vibrate with a notification, and I couldn't even read the preview. Suppose I was mostly biding my time until I could finally see my phone again. Were you waiting for important news? Most notifications feel important to me, but this one was especially so, yes. Now that I think about it, your boss got me so wrapped up in this nonsense, I forgot to follow up on the ping. Alexandra pulls up her phone, fingers moving whip-quick across the keyboard, even with the anxiety that seems to weigh on her shoulders. Ugh, is the page taking so long to load? Don't tell me it's some remnant magic messing up my data. Why am I paying so much for 6G if it can't even handle this? Let's end the suspicion on Jesse and Grudge. I think maybe that's the one. Well, they've been preoccupied with trying to escape, but then again, couldn't they just message ahead or do a remote presentation? That kind of problem solving is usually their go-to. Ah, I'm finally in. Oh, my Tony has a new bid. Her expression, often prone to tight smiles and withering stares, suddenly brightens into a smile tinged with relief and melancholy. Looks like it's finally time to bid farewell, old thing. And with all the disaster around her, Alexandria's mind is on auctioning off her Tony. But what exactly is that? A sale with some baggage might lead to some interesting dirt on this carefully curated siren. Whoosh! Evidence! What's a Tony? Peppy, do you really think it's a part of your investigation, or are you just bored? Or let's be honest, plain old nosy? It's called conversation. Actually, don't answer that. Humor me and answer this instead. What do you think Tony is? Grudge's alter ego? What, like it's a bad rom-com and I'm auctioning off a date with the eligible skeleton? No offense to Grudgy, but I'm not sure what the audience for that is, even if it was for charity. And I do hope that alter ego comment's not something he said to you. Given he named the old guy, who knows what emotional fallout recent events would have had on him. Oh dear, looks like you used up your only guess, Peppy. Maybe now we can talk about something else? Alright, guess we're on to somebody else. That's all we get in the demo with her. Her hand already hovers over her phone, but she gives you a parting smile. I'm here, if you have more inquiries. Sometimes, characters will talk to each other while you investigate. You can listen into their conversations or wait for them to finish, neither of which will cost you any time. Oh, so Fred and Sloan are talking. You notice Fred and Sloan talking and decide to listen in. Sloan, please, I'm going to sleep in my office. I don't have time for... You can look for clues after we talk, Fred, please. I can't just pretend everything is normal out there. Maybe it's not normal right now, but after Peppy's done some more investigating... That's what I'm talking about. Investigating! You just decided that on your own out of nowhere. I didn't even get a say. Thought you were just caught up in the moment back there, but you're serious? Putting Peppy up to this on their first day? It would make more sense if it was me and them. An investigation team would share the workload. Look, Sloan, I have to cover all my bases here. It's not personal. I know. Sorry, I was being a bother, wasn't I? Just ignore me. Sloan, I didn't... You know, I do have some inventory to do in the kitchen. I think keeping busy will do my head some good. Just put a little trust in the plan. We'll talk properly when this is all sorted, alright? I promise. Of course we will. Oh, damn. Alright. Oh, so this bar must be their suspicion of me. Alright. I was gonna say, aside from Dave, yeah, we only got the one question with Grudge. Let's do it! You approach Grudge, his eye sockets, once unfocused and deep in thought, turn to you instead. So you've decided it's time to face me, Peppy. Now your mind is warmed up for a proper conversation. I've been thinking about what your boss said, trying to narrow down who the suspect could be. Not that I have anything you could really use for an accusation or nothing, but you gotta start somewhere, right? You're overstepping, Grudge. This is my investigation. Let's go with good ideas are like coffee. They both need time to brew. Ha! Isn't that true? As long as we don't forget about the coffee and then it goes cold. That happens to me far too often. Oh, samesies! You know, for all my big talk about being your nemesis on account of the barista thing, I don't think anything on my application would have qualified me for the detective part of the job. Keep your expectations low. You'll never disappoint yourself. Damn, a life motto to live by. Let's do that. I feel like I don't think I'll be qualified for anything, you know. That might just put the suspicion on me. Here I thought they couldn't get much lower, but hey, worked for you. Maybe I gotta dive deeper. Guess I got something to learn from you after all. If only I could get a sneak at your resume for inspiration. But how would I even go about stealing it? Look, I got some personal experience with this kind of scenario. In the novel, in my experience, usually the detective's first instinct is something they should follow up on. Which is why I wish I had a first instinct to go off of, but my crime senses haven't exactly been tingling today. Let me just think. Anything else that springs to mind? Fresh out of insights on the case for now, Peppy. Alright, time for you to do your worst and hit me with some questions, detective. The little pew-pews with his finger cuts. Incredible. What's a Tony? Well, in my opinion, it's a pretty cool name. Not sure about its uses beyond being a proper noun, though. Unless... You didn't hear the name Tony from Alex, did you? Yeah, she was checking its auction price when the lights went out. She's selling Tony? And at the very moment of the crime. Grudge runs a shaky hand through his hair, jaw set stiff as the steely darkness of his eye sockets gazes beyond you. Tony, he's her motorbike. Custom job done by yours truly, from the wheels to his decals. He's a work of art made just for her. I even named him myself. Why would she just go and sell something so important to her? To her. Yeah, she seemed emotional. Maybe she had a good reason. She did, really? Would be nice of her to talk to me about it, but reassuring to know there's more to it. What kind of reason? Money seems the obvious one, because Tony wasn't cheap, especially with all those modifications he had over the years. And ain't her social media stuff doing well these days? She's in some kind of trouble. So Alex is selling her prized bike, but her friend can't think of what she'd need to spend the money on. Financial woes could be an excellent accusation with some more reasoning behind it. Go with the hypotheticals aren't relevant to the case. For motive ain't relevant. Suit yourself. Why would Alexandra need money? Suppose the point of attack would brainstorm what you could spend the money on. Better wheelchair? Shoes? Wait, no, not shoes. That's I don't know. Hard to wrap my head around. If the lifestyle of premium blue coffee can't be sustained on flashy brand sponsorship, what's a guy like me meant to expect on minimum wage? These are the kind of spirals my brain gets stuck in. Caught up in my place in all of this. And what the way she's living says about me. Doesn't the way Alexandra's living say something suspicious about her? Needing cash but still splashing out? Caring that much about keeping up appearances? Is her end goal so important that no one can be allowed to cop in on the truth? Well. Sowing suspicion. Grudge slowly grinds his jaw as if tasting your question. Folks might call this place bare bones, but take it from me, nowhere does coffee like the familiar. And that's the most important part. Every cup's brewed to perfection. Even the one I had today was great, and you're a new hire. Dark, moody, complex. Just like our current predicament. Shame I didn't get your job. Been drinking the stuff for ages now, and I could have proven I know how to replicate it. Just the latest in a long line of missed opportunities. You've proven a formidable opponent so far. Ha! You're pretty tough yourself. Already beat me at my own game with your coffee. I'll be sure to taste it carefully in case you laced it with something evil. Well, I wouldn't say I taste the coffee. When I drink it, my chest starts pounding real hard. I breathe deeper. Like I feel more. That makes sense? Only the familiar makes it like that, far as I know. Even your first cup had a pretty strong effect. Little weird, yeah, but I ain't complaining. I think we made him already a little suspicious of Fred, so we can stick with maybe Fred's enchanted it to be super addictive. Oh, but he would do that, wouldn't he? Though I'm pretty sure it's just me who gets those weird feelings. But he would. If I had to guess, the recipe's so magic that its power's been rubbing off on me, one coffee at a time. A few more cups, I'll be slinging lightning from my fingertips. No wonder Fred wants it back so bad. Hell, I do too. Otherwise, the best coffee in Artifice might be nothing but a distant memory, and I'll be left a decaffeinated husk. You ought to savor the last drops of magic while I can, then. I'll have to do without if the place goes under. What an odd thread in the tapestry of this case. Our thief ain't just stealing coffee, but the magic that makes it shine. How utterly nefarious. Sounds like Grudge is the only customer affected by the coffee's magic. But if you get some unique upside from it, you might be able to spin that into a motive. Alright. What kind of magic is in the familiar's coffee? Grudge looks past you, gazing into the lens of an invisible camera. Ain't no wizard, but I know it's potent. Makes the coffee taste like a rainy evening in a smoky bar, or thumbing through the pages of a beat-up book. It's like... Look, I don't know, just hits different, alright? If I knew how magic coffee worked, I would have told you before. Suppose Jess might know more about that. Wait, nah, they don't drink it. They get hot chocolate every time, just like I get my coffee. Not one for breaking routine. Not even when I've offered a sip of mine. Maybe they avoided the coffee because of the magic? Jess ain't shy about justifying their preferences, so they'd tell me that, right? I mean, they gotta know something about it. Too smart not to. But then Jess can pull out a whole thesis on why they like what they do. Meanwhile, I'm here stumbling over my words. Shouldn't be this hard. Grudge stares into his cup, searching for any answers that might have sunk to the bottom. Sorry, don't got the right words for this. I'll think on it some more. You know, Peppy, started this investigation. I was worried I'd be a little lonely. Well, with us all sitting so far apart and all. But hey, had a couple of breaks from my thoughts here and there, thanks to a certain barista. Grudge's skull turns, glancing at his aforementioned fellow customers. Then, his jaw twists into an excited grin. Actually, looks like Jess and Alex are having a chat too. Why don't we join in? Before you have a chance to respond, he's halfway across the cafe floor. You find Alexandra and Jesse gathered by the front door. I don't think I'm doing something stupid. Quite the opposite. I'm going to break the barrier, keeping us trapped here. Hell yeah! Put that vampire magic to good use, Jess. Bust us out! Would you two stop saying such incriminating phrases, please? You're right. Less talking, more casting. As soon as Jessie calls her magic forth, the air pressure fluctuates in an awkward rhythm. The lights flicker overhead. Ah, no. Heavy's footsteps quickly puncture the bubble you formed as Sloane rushes in from the kitchen. What's happening out here? Is everyone all right? Jessie, what are you doing? Before they formulate a reply, a streak of black fur races past you. Your boss leaps onto the table, claws out, a snarl on his maw. Somebody explain what the hell is happening right now. Oh, look, he's fat. Oh, who's a fat kitty? Who's a fat kitty? Oh, for how many times do I have to explain this? I'm breaking the barrier enchantment and leaving this cafe. Jessie, I understand you're feeling a little distressed right now. That sounds dangerous. Can we talk this out, please? Talk it out. They're already mid-spell. Casting on premises is a bannable offense. And keeping your customers trapped inside your cafe isn't a legal offense? Ha! Then I'll see you in court, right after I counterspell your petulant attempt to damage my property. Second time today, you see your boss start casting a spell. Only this time you played no part in its instigation. The room around you pulses in an eerie red and yellow glow, caught between the two competing casters. Don't listen to him, Jess! Destroy those words! Jessie! Jessie! I just want it to be known that I do not endorse the actions of my fellow customers in the slightest. I really think if we just calmed down and talked... Dave? At the front door, Dave peers sightlessly into the cafe, his face pressed against the glass. Hey guys! Dave here. What's going on in there? Hard to see with all the glowing. Oh, great. No need to worry. Dave is here. I think I've almost got it. I can see the spell core. No, you don't! Fred's eyes pinch in concentration as he throws his all into combating Jessie's spell. Dave, you need to get away from that door! What? Can't hear you guys over this humming! Then, everything goes silent. Like a taut string severed, the barrier meets its untimely demise, unleashing the last of its magic through every soul in the room. Oopsie poopsie. Well, shit. I actually did it? Slowly, then all at once, the light fades from your vision and the aftermath of the magical onslaught comes into view. Everyone seems to stand deathly still between awe and shock at the empty hum that resonates through the air. Everyone, that is, except Jessie. I did it! I did it! Though their breath is short and movements lethargic, Jessie's eyes are bright and hopeful. They stumble back to their table, reaching for their bag. You really did it! Jess, you really are so unbelievable. This is... Ha! So much for your counterspell, Fred. That is it! You are going on the band board, Mix Hendrix! And your skeleton friend, too! Fred, calm down, please. A familiar, long-absent jingle rings throughout the room. The sound of a new customer entering your ranks. Dave steps tentatively into the cafe, his precious box propped outside as he opens the door. Well, how about that? Looks like I can finally make my delivery. A shiver passes through you, skittering up your arms and landing uncomfortably on the tip of your tongue. Another surge of magic, rushing back to the barrier it had just been excised from. The door starts to swing shut behind Dave. No! Jessie lunges across the cafe, their bag thrown hastily over their shoulder and desperation in their eyes. Their fingers reach out and graze the handle of the door. As it finally closes and the magic barrier they worked so hard to dispel slams stubbornly back into place. Sorry, should have held that for you. Let me just... Dave tugs on the door. It does not open. Oh, that's weird. Not opening. Probably shouldn't have put my package down outside. Wait, you're not telling me we're trapped again? What was that about my counterspell? I'm still here. My meeting? I can't. Why don't we have a calm discussion about what just happened? We'll start with Jessie. Please talk us through what you did, please. I needed to leave. I have, into my meeting with the board. Do you understand how many months in advance I had to book this in? Ha, meeting. You mean you had to get to a covert location to hand off my recipe? No, I mentioned it earlier, didn't I? Sloan, you remember, right? I feel like I've been very honest about my situation from the start. Fred, I do remember them mentioning it this morning. Not that it justifies dangerous spellcraft. Come on, even if they didn't have a meeting, no one actually wants to be stuck in here. Why is it a crime to want to leave? I would if I could. That doesn't mean making a spectacle is the right way to go about any of this. Well, Peppy, what do you make of the situation? The actions are undeniably suspicious. And would they listen when I told them that earlier? No. Escaping the scene of the crime is textbook criminal. If anything, it's too predictable. Look, regardless of how you all feel about the context, you can't deny this is a strike against the young Hendrix heir. I told you already, I'm the youngest of 5 siblings. In spite of their differing opinions, you see the weight of uncertainty settle on everyone else in the cafe. Alright, while we're here, does anyone have anything suspicious they'd like to bring up? Fred's gaze makes it around each individual in the room, but no one steps forward. Great. Good to know we're all making an effort to clear up this mystery. Well, Peppy, you have anything to add? Anyone here you think is our prime suspect? Right now, you're my prime suspect, boss. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to focus on Jesse at the moment. Yeah, of course. After this spectacle, how could they not be? I know how all of this looks, but I'd ask you to at least talk to me properly before making a judgment. Ugh, I've had enough of this whole back and forth. You know what I think? And I know you'll have our criminal caught before the damn cops enter the scene. You won't escape. The tense air of the cafe is cut through by the sharp ringing of a phone in the distance. Your boss's posture perks up. That's the asshole on the line. Sloan, can you go get my phone? Oh, sure. I can carry it for you. Sloan heads into the kitchen. Dave turns to the group. His smile is wide, his eyes untroubled. Well, seems as good a time as any to introduce myself. I'm Dave. I usually deliver stuff to the Familiar 1 or 2 times a week. Lovely to meet you, Dave. Sup? Gods, is this what front-facing service feels like? How insufferable. Fred, here's your phone. I wasn't sure if you want me to answer the call or... Saved by the ringtone. Put the old bastard on speaker, Sloan. Finally picking up Familiar, and here I was about to take your silence as a sign to put my feet up. Don't you do enough of that already? Why are you calling then? Don't tell me you're going to do your job. You'll be happy to hear the calls you logged were heard loud and clear by the department chief. We'll be getting there a bit sooner than estimated. Not too soon, mind, but hopefully enough to give the phone lines a break. The sooner the cops get here, the less time you have to gather evidence. Time to adapt. Guess I'll take it, for all the good you'll do when you get here. See you soon, Familiar. Even with his small victory, your boss looks wholly unsatisfied. Alright, that's enough spectacle for the morning. Everyone, scatter. Fred, shouldn't we talk more about what happened? Talk. I don't have time to hear more weak arguments. I want evidence, and Peppy will deliver. If they want to keep their job, that is. Sloan opens her mouth as if ready to make one last argument, but the words fade along with any lingering determination. Looking out at the customers, you see that sentiment echoed, a resignation etched into the lines of their faces. They know they're stuck here, and they know there's only one way out. Let's go with, but that one way out isn't such a bad thing. Being stuck in here provides an opportunity to frame your scapegoat, and with that, gain your freedom. With some temporary imprisonment in the meantime. As everyone despondent floats back to their perch of choice, you see Jesse throw a contemplative glance in your direction. The prime suspect. Perhaps I only have myself to blame for that. You make your way back to your small reprieve in this chaotic store. Your bag sits there. All the evidence they'd need to put you away inside. You need someone else to blame. Things could be going worse. You lived through far worse, much as you cringe at the memories. This scenario is almost a blessing, providing you with ample opportunity to escape the consequences of your actions. No matter. Your scapegoats are scattered again. Thick cord of tension tying them all together. You pull on that strand, it might all start to come apart. Just like you planned. Just like you wanted. Right? End of them all. Yeah, I can see where that would be fun. I like how much, like, sets up as you go, too. Got that... Me. Very cool. So many little lines. So many little me's. So many me's. All over the joint. Well, a good time. A good time. I guess we will simply be back tomorrow with even more